Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Renee Hiatt of American Quilter Society, and we are going to bring you a three-part tip series, and it is going to feature my Kentucky Rose Garden pattern, which you can find behind me. We also have this kitted, and the pattern is included, so if you like this selection and you're interested in making this quilt, you could purchase a kit on AmericanQuilter.com. I'm going to talk to you in the first part of the series about color. How color works, utilizing a color wheel, the color pattern I selected for this particular quilt, and how you could replicate it yourself. The second part of the series is going to feature on finding your 1/4 inch, properly pinning and stitching. And then the third part of the series, we're going to end with proper pressing, because believe it or not, pressing makes a major difference. All right, so let's start with color. I went with a split complementary color plan, and how you know it's a split complementary color plan is on my color wheel. You are going to find all the different colors that are involved in anything that you're making. And if you look, one side of this color wheel, which is the Essential Color Wheel tool, we do have them available on our website. You are going to find all 24 major color slices on the color wheel. It starts with one with yellow, and it makes its way all the way around to the golden yellow. This also is a companion tool for the 3-in-1 color tool many of you have probably seen, as well as this little mini color wheel tool that you can carry in your purse so that you never leave home without it. But you'll see, if I'm looking at my magenta and fuchsia fabrics, they reside on one side of the color wheel. So this one is definitely closer to magenta, or I should say fuchsia, and this one is closer to magenta and that blue-red. If you go across the color wheel from those two wedges, they're 16, 17, and a little bit of 18, you are going to find that spring green, green, and blue green reside on the opposite side of the color wheel, along with a little bit of the yellow green. So if I flip that around to my fabrics, you can see that my one fabric is falling in that green, and then the other fabric has yellow green and spring green. So that is known as a split complementary color plan. Half the fabrics are on this side and half the fabrics are on this side. All right, you can see all different shades of those colors in these different wedges. It also helps on the back if you find those same exact tabs. For instance, if we look at the magenta, you can see that it gives you the complementary color plan. It gives you, if you had an analogous color plan, if you had a split complementary color plan, or a triadic color plan. The differences on those are, an analogous color plan is going to be cool and calm. It's using colors that are all next to each other on the color wheel. And split complementary color plan, which is what we've talked about, this middle one, where half the fabrics are on this side and half the fabrics on this side, are complementary to each other. In other words, it's like your favorite blouse and skirt. They just go well together and they really complement each other. So green and pink are across the color wheel from each other and complement each other. All right, your triadic color plan is actually using colors that are 8 tabs apart on the color wheel. And that is a very balanced color plan. So by going with our 16, our 8, and our 24, you are going to have a really balanced color plan. In other words, none of them are going to pop. They are all going to be harmonious. All right, so it really depends on what do you want your quilt to do for you. Do you want it to be calming? If so, go with an analogous. Do you want it to pop? Go with a complementary or a split complementary color plan. If you want it to be balanced and equal, then you want to go with a triadic color plan. All right, let's dive a little bit more into that split complementary color plan that I'm using. Some of you might not be able to see between the Kaffe fabric, the Free Spirit Kaffe fabric. But if I pull out some of these blenders, it might make more sense to you that you can easily see that these complement each other. So again, we have ones from our green going against those from our fuchsia and purple and magenta. All right, so again, different sides of the color wheel. To give you a different plan that would work well for this quilt would be to move over to the oranges, and across from the oranges are the blues. So you can see here are my oranges. If I come directly across the color wheel, I find myself with these different blues. All right, so turquoise, the blue, they all go together. And what really works really well when you have these split complementary color plans is if you could find a bridge fabric. So for me, for this particular little color plan, this fabric really pulls together both my orange and blue. So this would be a great fabric to use for my border. If we go back to my original color plan that's in the kit, you can see that I also found a bridge fabric, and that is this fabric right here. It is using some of the fuchsias, the oranges, and the greens, and it's really pulling it together. So this is used in the border as well as in the quilt, all right, which is something I would suggest that you always consider. Sometimes us quilters like to throw on this border fabric, and that's the only place it's used, and then it really sticks out. You really want to incorporate it somewhere in your quilt. You might also notice that I went with quite the bold background fabrics. This quilt uses two. I have a background light and a background dark, and that high contrast really sets off this quilt, and it really allows you to see the shapes. All right, so you may also notice that in this background, I've incorporated some of the green. Again, pulling it all together. So my words of advice to you when using a color wheel is: one, get familiar with it. Two, play around. Feel free to pull out some fat quarter bundles or your stash and try and make some color plans up. And just get comfortable with it. I would say the biggest thing I find with quilters and color is they're just afraid. So get comfortable, learn how to do a color wheel, and start playing. All right, so this wraps up our color tip for this series. Make sure you tune in for the second part of this series, where we'll talk about finding your 1/4 inch and proper pinning and stitching. See you then.